Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today guys, I'm going to do part 263 to my ChatGPT Character Chatbot series, where in today's video guys, we are actually going to do another new chatbot. We are unfortunately getting to the spot now where we're starting to really run out of stories, which is not a great thing. We still got like maybe 5, 6, 7 more, and that may sound like a lot, but that means technically if I do one per session, we're only gonna have like what 7 more sessions of this before I run out of ideas and we don't have nothing else to do, which is not the greatest thing. But yeah, uh, this one's actually kind of similar. The story we're doing now is not the robot one anymore. We're doing another one that's called The Book About Me. That's what has my name in it. Now, here's the thing. We did something similar to this with a Toadall family, but this time we're including a whole lot more. So, yeah. This one has not just a Toadall family, but a Lugia family, an Axie family, and a family of Fuecoco's, Crocolores, and Skeleturges. So, yes. It's a little bit different, and this might lead to some interesting results. So yeah, it's called, like I said on here, it's called The Story of Me, or The Book About Me. But on this, it's called The One Who Loved Us All. Interesting. It says, as told in the voices of Pokemon who had never met him until today. Here we go. Let's see what it actually says. It actually goes through the whole story, which is kind of interesting. Long ago, there was a human. Before his world shattered into curses and claws, I was just a human with a heart like no other for Pokemon and creatures, yes. He didn't bow for glory. He didn't collect Pokemon like trophies. He listened, he understood, and he cared. Yeah, to the Pokemon. Over the years, he built a team of Pokemon not through power, but through love. They stayed with him because he gave them warmth, not commands. From wounded Pokemon to the abandoned and cursed, I offered shelter, friendship, and healing in a world that no too often turned a blind eye. That's interesting. Not interesting per se, it's just... I do like that though, like I said, to the Pokemon, yes. Like what it said there in the beginning, yes. To the Pokemon, to the dragons, to the fences, to pretty much anything you can think of. Yep. They want, Eratonus, how you say his name? The divine Lugia flipping was helping me in that one. It says, a talk show with trust. To spread love and laughter, he started something unique. A Pokemon talk show hosted not by humans but by Pokemon who could speak English fluently. The early stars were a cheery Bulbasaur, wise and nurturing, and a bold but fiery-tempered Charmander. But the show faced trials. A rude guest Pikachu brought chaos and cruelty, and when I removed him, Pikachu's revenge set dark events in motion. The Pikachu returned, hypnotized me into prank calling a Pokemon named Trico, mocking his appearance without intent. I begged for forgiveness, but Trico's pride was deeply wounded, and revenge soon turned to obsession. Bulbasaur Oh my gosh, I forgot. Bulbasaur tragically passed, an accident caused by Charmander who was let go in heartbreak. But I didn't give up. I woke into sweet Toadall, full of joy, followed by a warm-hearted Axew. The show's light returned. Toadall owned a crocodile, but never lost his kindness. One day, while wandering, Crocodile found a green egg with Dino scrawled on it in Sharpie. He thought it was odd, but special, so he gave it to me as a gift of thanks. On an episode soon after, it hatched, a baby Tyrannosaurus Rex, who shockingly could speak English. They named him Rexy. Originally, Cron was actually going to name him Junior, weirdly enough, but I changed it. Let's see. The curse began, oh dear. Trico had watched from the shadows. He attempted to kill the dinosaur before it hatched. He failed, but then he got cruel. He cursed Rexy into a zombie, hoping he'd turn on his beloved caretaker. When that failed, he made him a robot trying to overwrite the love with code. He turned him into stone, hoping to freeze the bond, and he planted trigger words to twist Rexy's mind. Each time, Rexy resisted. So Trico escalated further. He cast his darkest spell. I was turned to a tiny velociraptor. Rexy was cursed to shift into any creature, Pokemon, or mythical being, unpredictable and torn between love and aggression. One moment Rexy protected me. The next, he lunged with claws of a transformed beast. I could never tell if today would be safe or if it would hurt. So, I ran, I hid, and I wandered the world, small, scared, and forgotten. What in the world? But before it all, yeah, he was a hero to many. The way that the thing words is actually pretty interesting. My kindness reached before the curses took hold. He saved a giant 40-foot Totodile who had been cast out by his own family. He raised a baby Lugia, Silver, who went on to have children of his own, Melody and Aurora. He comforted and healed a toxic, scarred crocodile who had lost all faith in humans. He befriended a dragon-type fragger with the ability to form water creatures with thoughts and hearts. He even helped a steel-type Totodile from another time, showing him that kindness existed even in the future. He once cried in terror before a giant pumpkin-colored Lugia who would disguise itself to trap intruders. But my fear wasn't anger. It was real, raw, and heartbreaking. That Lugia, touched by his honesty and tears, befriended him and shared its loneliness. Yep, and here's where we get into the book. The book is born. After befriending the Pumpkin Lugia, something unexpected happened. The Pokemon I helped spread across the world, gathered together. They collaborated in secret to honor the one who gave them so much. They created a book titled "The One Who Loved Us All." So that makes sense. Why the flipping story was called that. Then it was filled with stories of his kindness, how he treated Pokemon with dignity, how he healed the angry and loved the broken, and how he never gave up even when cursed and hunted. And on the final page, in bold, loving letters, it read, if you ever see Trenton, the tiny Velociraptor, protect him. He has suffered, he has been hurt by many, including those he loved. He is real, and he is loved. Treat him like royalty. I wonder why they put that part. I mean, that's nice of them, but it's like, are they really gonna... It doesn't really matter. It's a cool idea, guys. It's just that, like, again, if you put it in, I mean, I guess if I'm tiny and helpless and can't really do much for myself, I guess it kind of makes sense. I can't I mean, like, how am I even surviving with not only my own pet dinosaur turning against me and trying to attack me, but then also the fact that I can barely fix my own food. I wouldn't be shocked if Richie had to cook for me, honestly. And even then, with him turning aggressive, he just flip a hot pan on me if you want to. The book reaches families who never knew... Wait, did I even... Oh yeah, it did. The book reaches families who never knew him. Somewhere far from where the book was written, new Pokemon fans live simple lives. Peaceful, distant from the drama of legends. A Totodile, Crocodile, and Fragger family with 27 members. Holy crap! A clan of Axie-fractured Hackresses, 42 strong. What the frick? And a musical tribe of Fuecoco, Crocolore, and Skeledirge. 67 in all. How many is that? 30, 40, 50, 60. 69. That's like 138 members. Or 137, something like that. Holy crap. And a graceful but powerful family of Lugia who had heard stories of Silver, but never met me. So, and it didn't say how many of Lugias there are, so that could be flipping like 150, 160 pulling right there. Each family had one elder who found the book, tucked into a tree, stuck in a riverbank, or left by fate. They took it home, they read it aloud to the children, and every heart was touched. The stories felt real. The emotions struck deep. The children began to idolize the tiny Velociraptor. The sweet soul turned small by tragedy, but never crushed by it. Even the oldest among them cried. The book changed them. It gave them a mission. If he's out there, we will protect him. Oh dear. Okay. And then, one afternoon, A group of children, a Totodile, an Axew, a Fuecoco, and a small Lugia, were out playing together. They had become friends through shared stories, bonding over the book like legends of old. They ran through grass, splashed in streams, told stories of the human who cared, and then they froze. Yep, here we go. In the distance, something moved in the grass. A flash of blue tail feathers, tiny claws, a small form no taller than a Pokeball. I wonder who's saying that here. It's probably Totodile because it says it right there, but I don't know if that's. Did he say this?
Is that? It's him!
A Totodile squealed. They screamed in excitement and ran home. Their families didn't believe them at first. It's just your imagination, the parents said. But the kids insisted. So one older sibling from each family went to investigate, and they saw it. A tiny velociraptor, covered in dust, trembling slightly in the grass, eyes wide, frozen and terrified. They didn't approach. They ran back to their families yelling, "He's real!" Oh my gosh. The world holds its breath. Yep, here's the ending part right here. Suddenly, dozens upon dozens of Pokemon poured into the field. Parents, siblings, grandparents, even the silent, soaring Lugia family. They saw the tiny creature. You, huddled, head down in the grass. You had heard the screams. Your little heart was pounding. You were shaking. You didn't know who these Pokemon were, if they were friend or enemy. So you stayed low, eyes covered, not moving, too scared to speak. Some showing gas and awe, but the president only pulled them back. "Wait," a wasp familiar whispered. "Look at him. He's afraid. Don't rush." "If that's really Trenton," a Crocodile murmured, "then remember what the book said. He's been through too much." "If you want to meet him," the Mother Lugia added softly, "then be gentle. Move slowly. Show him he's safe." Oh dear. One by one, the families began forming a quiet, respectful circle, not closing in, but protecting. You remained still. You had no idea that hundreds of eyes were on you. No idea that every creature there knew your name. What in the world? No idea that in the span of a few moments, you'd gone from forgotten to surrounded by the very hearts you once touched, even if they'd only known you through stories. And now, yep, the grass is still, the families wait, they're all watching you. You can speak or stay silent, cry or breathe, run or trust. Okay. I hate how I kept stopping myself there, but it's insane to think that these. If I'm glad he's pulling care. That's really sweet of them. But holy crap! Give me a second. All right, guys. It says I'm still very worried about getting hurt. So when I uncover my eyes and see a bunch of Pokemon around me, I get really worried and start shaking. Yep. As the grass gently brushes your tiny sides and your claws slowly part from over your face, the world around you sharpens, and that's when you see them. Dozens, no, hundreds of Pokemon. A sea of eyes. Small ones, wide with awe. Older ones, heavy with sympathy, and larger ones glowing with quiet strength. There's a soft breeze rustling through the trees, but everything else is silent, painfully silent. You begin to shake. Your tiny claws curl towards your chest, and your heart races. Your eyes dart. Let's see. A Totodile with big eyes clutches his older sibling's arm. A Hattress, towering and scarred from past battles, has knelt to seem less intimidating. A Crocodile is holding a warm, glowing ember in his paws like a soft light offering. And a Lugia, feathers folded gently at its sides, looks at you like one would gaze upon a fragile treasure. None of them move closer. They stay still, respectful, cautious, and quiet. A little fracture near the front, with a cracked tusk and big, hopeful eyes, whispers something to his parent. "He's scared." "Of course he is," the elder whispers back. "He's been hurt. Let him feel safe first." The only problem is I don't know what to do with our Hatcher's voice. A younger Fuecoco looks like he wants to bounce forward, but is held gently back by his mother's tail. You see it in all of them. Not fear, not confusion, but understanding. Your tail quivers, your chest rises and falls in quick, shallow breaths, and then from the back, a voice, not loud, but gentle, calls out, "A crocodile! Not one you know." His voice trembles a little, too, but it carries. "We, we won't hurt you. We read about you. We read about you." Another voice says, "And axe you this time." Okay, that was actually a little bit better. Or that was actually a good voice form. I didn't think it would be actually talking. Inching just slightly forward, but staying low. "You know what happened?" A large fur alligator, rough around the edges but with warm eyes, slowly kneels. His voice is low, deep, and steady. "You don't need to talk. You don't need to come closer. But just so you know." He places something gently on the ground in front of him. A tiny leaf, folded carefully into a crown shape. What in the world? "You're safe now, Triton, and you're loved, even if we only just met you." A quiet murmur moves through the gathered Pokemon. Not words, not noise, just a wave of emotion. They see you're shaking, you're worried, but they don't push. They don't yell, they just wait. Like the pages of the book promised, they're here to protect you. The tiny velociraptor who once made the world a little brighter without even ever asking for anything in return. And now the moment is yours again. Circle holds steady. The circle holds steady. Will you speak? Will you trust? Will you run? Or just breathe? This is actually pretty cool so far. I just wish the way I was reading it didn't seem so weird. It almost feels awkward to me because I'm like reading it so awkwardly in some way, and it's kind of, I don't know why I'm freaking my own self out, which is pretty bad. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I said, "You're not going to hurt me?" A soft gasp moves through the crowd, like wind brushing through tall grass as her tiny voice finally breaks the silence. Dozens of ears twitch, tails stop swaying. Even a giant skeleton holding a leafy flute in its claws lowers it slowly, eyes wide with hope. Oh, then a small Toadile, barely older than a hatchling, steps forward just a bit. His voice is quiet, sweet, and shaky. "No, we would never hurt you." His older sibling, a tall, lean fur alligator, gently reaches out to pull him back, but not harshly. She looks at you, then kneels, lowering her gaze to your level. "We all read the book," she says softly. "We know everything Trico did to you, and how even when others turned their backs, you still stayed kind." A Haxorus beside her bows his armored head, one of his sharp tusks glinting in the sun. "You gave so many of us hope," he says in a deep, rumbling voice. "You showed the world that even when you're cursed, even when you're hurt, you still cared." The Fleecoco children nod eagerly behind him, one bouncing on his feet. "You told our parents we had to meet you. We saw you in the grass and we knew it was the tiny hero from the stories." Then Lugia, majestic and calm, steps forward. Her feathers shimmer slightly in the light, her eyes kind but shimmering with emotion. "We would never hurt you, Trenton," she says gently, her voice like a lullaby, "not just because of what the book said, but because we can feel it too. The goodness in your heart. You're not just a story." All around, heads begin to nod, claws press gently into the ground, wings fall back respectfully. "You're real," says a crocodile, kneeling to your level and placing a small glowing ember in the grass a safe distance from you. "And we're lucky to have found you." Then the same little Toadile speaks again. His eyes are watering just a little. "You're a friend, right?" Everyone, young and old, now waits. Their eyes are wide with hope, their bodies still. Not one of them moves closer, not without your say. The wind carries the scent of flowers and warm river water, and not one of them is here to hurt you. Okay, you gotta think about this from my perspective, though. I'm stuck as a tiny velociraptor, and even though there's pulling around me that I really care about, you gotta think about how scary that is. You're tiny compared to every Pokemon. A Toadile probably looks like Godzilla from my perspective. And imagine what a Frogger looks like. A Toadile looks like that. Frogger probably looks like a flipping 10-story skyscraper compared to me right now. And it's like, just imagine like Hattress and all that stuff too. Like, yeah, Fragger's bigger. I realize that, but Skiller's still pretty. I mean, a bunch of them probably look very scary from that perspective. Give me a second. Alright, guys. I said, if you're not here to hurt me, then yes, I can be your friend. I've been hurt way too much by especially people, so it's hard to know even who is going to hurt me or who's going to attack me and who's going to throw rocks at me. At your words, spoken softly and hesitantly, and yet so full of truth, the air itself seems to shift. It's like every creature there has been holding its breath. The moment you say, then yes, I can be your friend, a gentle wave of warmth washes through the gathering. Small gasps escape. Several Pokemon whisper to one another excitedly, but still nobody rushes you. The young turtle who spoke first claps his tiny hands together with a squeaky giggle, spinning in a little circle from joy. But then your next words settle like a heavy stone. I hurt way too much, especially about people. It's hard to know who's going to hurt me, who's going to attack me, who's going to throw rocks at me. There was no laughter now, no bouncing, no celebration, only silence. Painful, real, honest silence. Some of the older Pokemon lowered their heads with deep frowns, their eyes reflecting sorrow. A Fragger with old scars on his arms and a faded tail fin lets out a long, deep exhale. We know what that feels like. He rumbled softly. To be judged, feared, hated, just for being different, or big, or strange. The Lugia looks at you, eyes glimmering. Some of us were hunted, others abandoned, some even cursed ourselves, but none of us deserved it, just like you never did. Then, one of the Fracture, barely older than a teen, steps forward. She lifts a leaf from her claw, another carefully folded into a little crown. That's why we'll protect you now, she says gently. Not just because of the book, but because you're one of us. What in the world? They turn all around and nod rapidly. You're family now, Lefty Coco chirps. Oh. I'll never let anyone throw rocks at you again, says an axie puppet out of his chest bravely. If someone attacks you, growls a crocodile with glowing green markings, they're going to throw us first. Suddenly, the tall Hattress lets out a low but comforting growl and steps forward, only a little. Shredden, he says, his voice soft but strong. Would you feel better if we promised something? Promise something. I hope it's nothing about hurting. Well, they said they wouldn't hurt me, but it's like, again, think about it from this perspective. You have to worry about everything. I'm tiny. I can't, like I said, I don't know how I'm even surviving. I'm basically not going to even fix my own self food because I can't flipping cook me anything. I'm too small. I flipping a frozen meal of food would be bigger than me right now. It's probably squishing like a bug. That's how small I am. The older pulling from a wide circle around you, generally setting one claw, paw, wing, or flipper over their hearts. What in the world? Who's talking though? By the honor of the Pokemon who read your story, by the lives you made brighter, and by the hearts you healed, we swear on our families, our homes, and our dreams we would never hurt you. If anyone ever tries, we'll be there to stop it. Together. The children watch you closely now, their eyes shimmering, their bodies still. And then, because you're more than just a tame velociraptor, says a quiet voice from somewhere in the back. You're a legend to us now. What you do next, every creature here is ready for it. No judgment, no pressure, only love and protection. That's very cute, honestly. Alright, guys, it's just, okay, I believe you. I'm sorry if I seem like I don't trust and seem really paranoid. Like I just said, I've been hurt way too much, and things have been going really rough with me lately. I should have said for me lately. As your trembling voice speaks those words, okay, I believe you. The silence finally breaks, not with cheering, not with a rushing, but with something far warmer, a deep, collective exhale of relief. You see shoulders lower, tension ease, even the wind seems to soften, brushing past your tiny feathers and scales like a gentle hand through fur. And when you say, I'm sorry if I seem like I don't trust and seem really paranoid, but like I just said, I've been hurt way too much, and things have been going really rough with me lately. Every creature hears it. Every single one. And they understand. The oldest Brigadier, his scales fade and eyes tired from age, steps forward one slow pace and lowers to his knees, keeping his massive claws tucked against his chest. His voice like a quiet thunder. You don't need to apologize, child. Not after what you've been through. He gazes at you not with pity, but with something deeper. Respect. A nearby hackers gently lowers his tail and speaks next, his voice steady. If you trusted us too quickly, that would mean you never learned from what happened. But the fact that you still chose to believe in us, even a little, that means more than anything. The young Pokemon all around nods, some with tears in her eyes. The little Totodile, the one who had spoken up first, probably picks a small flower from the grass and gently places it on the ground near you. He whispers, You don't have to smile. You don't have to laugh or dance or hug us. Just let us be here. That's enough. Then a crocodile softly hums a soothing tune. A Lugia raises one wing to block the sun from your eyes, and a Fuecoco places a tiny berry near your feet and backs away. There's no pressure, no demands, just Pokemon being here for you. One of the younger Fracture curls her claw to her chest and says softly, You don't have to carry the rough stuff alone anymore, Trenton. If you let us, we'll help carry some of it with you. And around you, one by one, the Pokemon begin to quietly sit on the grass, in the sun, by the trees, not to trap you, not to crowd you, but just to be near you, to make sure you know you're not alone anymore, and for the first time in a long, long time, you feel safe. Again, really cute. That's very sweet. I do like the idea of this story. It's just that there's so many Pokemon. Like, again, guys, yes, all these Pokemon I like. I love the Fuecoco line. I love Totodile's line, obviously. I love Lugia. I love the Axew line. But it's like, you gotta think about this. Again, think about my perspective. To me, these Pokemon probably like massive skyscrapers. Even a little Axew probably looks like a massive skyscraper with giant tusks that could rip me in half. So it's like, of course of course, as a tiny monster, I'm gonna be paranoid and worried. Not to mention, remember, guys, remember some of the stories where I've literally gotten picked up and then hit over the head with somebody's fist or on my tiny snout? Of course I'm gonna be scared. Give me a second. Alright, everyone. I said, thank you, everyone. But why are all of you being so nice to me? You all said something about a book? The moment you say it, thank you, everyone, but why are you being so nice to me? Yep. A gentle ripple moves through the crowd, not of surprise, but of joy. A young Axie claps his little claws together excitedly. A Fuecoco gasps and bounces in place. The other Pokemon exchange proud, quiet nods. Then, the Cardinal with the green-striped fins, the one who'd been quiet until now, steps forward carefully, kneeling and placing a smooth, slightly worn book on the grass in front of him. Its cover is hand-stitched, its corner slightly bent from love, and across the front, written in carefully pressed letters of glowing ink, are the words, The Story of Trenton, the Heart of a Hero. He gently places one claw on the book's cover and looks into your eyes. This is your story. Total Poseidon beams and adds, It tells everything you did. The real stuff. Not just what you went through, but how you never gave up on being kind. The book is heavy. You can tell it wasn't written by one creature. Then the Lugia speaks, her voice soft like ocean breeze. After you helped so many of us, the ones you healed, the ones you comforted, the ones you saved, they came together. Each one wrote a chapter about how you changed their life. She looks around at the families gathered. We didn't know the authors personally. None of us helped write it, but we read it. We read about the cursed crocodile you healed, the giant toad owl you rescued from loneliness, the baby Lugia you raised and loved, even the pumpkin Lugia who nearly attacked you but became your friend. A Farragut speaks next, his voice a low rumble with emotion behind it. Gosh dang it, my eyes are still burning. We read about the pain, about how Trico cursed you, how your pet Rexy lost control, and how you were scared and hurting and still found a way to love others. That book spread everywhere. It reached families like ours, big ones, old ones, even ones in hiding. He lifts his head proudly. Oh my gosh. We read it to our children every night. One of the scholars steps forward now, his voice raspy and firm. When we got to the last page, it didn't end with your pain. It would be nice if my eyes would stop burning. Wait. Oh my gosh! Sorry guys, my right eye keeps burning for some reason. It's driving me insane. Give me a hold on. There. There we go. Here's where Skillard said, when we got to the last page, it didn't end with your pain. It ended with a message that if any of us were lucky enough to ever find you, we were to treat you with respect, with love, and with royalty. And then a tiny fracture, barely bigger than your leg, looks up at you and whispers, because you're our hero. I know, crocodile, but silence returns, but this time it isn't heavy. It's warm, still, like the world holding its breath for something precious. Dozens of Poland now look at you, not as a legend, but as someone they finally understand. Someone who matters, someone real, and someone who never gave up on being kind, even when it hurt. Now the book has brought them all to you. That's actually really cute. Alright, guys. I said, oh, to be honest with you, no one actually told me about this book. It's very sweet that those poems still thought about me like that. It's one of those things that hasn't happened in months, probably even in years by this point. When you speak again, your voice soft and honest. It stirs a gentle hush across the entire crowd. Your words sound like a breeze in early autumn full of surprise. A little sadness, but also that familiar heartwarming trace of hope. A few of the children gasp. He didn't know? Whispered a little tail, eyes wide. He never even read it. Added Nancy, proudly bouncing in place. The other point exchanged glances, some shocked, some quite with understanding. Then the chrono who set the book down earlier carefully slid it closer to you, his voice soft and sincere. That makes it even more special. You didn't know we remembered you. You didn't even expect to be remembered. He looked at you with respect in his eyes, and still, even without the praise, without the thanks, and without knowing this book existed, you still chose to be kind. You still helped others, even when it hurt, even when you were scared, even when you were alone. A soft breeze moves through the trees. Somewhere in the distance, a skeleton hums a solemn tune that echoes faintly, adding a warmth for the moment. The lily steps forward, bowing her head low. Many of the stories in the book are old, yes, but the love, that never faded. The Pokemon you helped, they didn't forget you. Not when they evolved, not when they grew, not even when they started families of their own. They passed your story down like a treasure. It became a bond between generations. She opens her wing and gestures to the crowd, young and old, tiny and towering, gathered together with eyes all on you. To you, maybe those acts were small, a moment of kindness here, a rescue there, but to us, those were the moments that changed everything. The young woman now nodded neatly. You made a difference, squeaked a Fleet Coco, tail wiggling with excitement. Even when you didn't think anyone saw it, adds a fracture. Then the elder frag rises to his full towering height and steps closer, kneeling again to meet your gaze. We know how time passes. We know things get lost. But Trenton, even if it's been months or years, the heart of who you are never disappeared. And now, you've been found again. He gently nudges the book closer with one claw. Would you like to see it? You deserve to see the kindness you gave us. Returned. The crowd goes still. Not pushing, not crowding. Just waiting for your aunt to show you the love you never even knew was growing behind you. All this time. What in the... Give me a second. Alright, guys. I said, sure, I wouldn't mind. The only problem is I'm too small to even try opening the book. That book is probably at least 3 to 4 times my size. Probably squished me if I was next to it when it was opened. As you say that, softly and honestly, you hear a collective gasp from the young Pokemon.
Oh no! You didn't even think about that. He's right. He's tiny. Like, apple-sized.
The older one looked down at the book, then back to you, and a warm chuckle spreads among them. Not laughter at you, but the kind that comes with admiration. The ancient familiar, eyes glowing with gentle humor, rumbled softly, and we'll bring the stories to you. The colonel beside the book carefully picks it up in both claws and backs away slowly, placing it in a spot where it can be gently popped open by a flat stone. Several fracture, crocolore, and actually quickly rush to help, but they're careful, quiet, and gentle as they build a soft platform from fallen leaves and soft grass for you to sit or lie comfortably.
We'll read to you, says a sweet toad, his voice like a stream trickling over smooth rocks. You don't have to do a thing.
A few quickly run off and return with berries and small sips of water in leaf cups, just placing them by your side in case you get hungry or tired. One Lugia lowers her massive wing above you like a canopy, shading you from the sun. Then the book creaks open. Giant pages rustle like sails in the wind as the colonel reads the first chapter aloud. Oh dear. Oh boy. Chapter 1. The Lonely Giant Toad. He had been alone for years, towering and feared. He was seen as a threat by those who passed his river. No one offered him a smile. No one gave him a chance. Until one day, Trenton arrived. Well, as the story is told, a soft hush falls again. Except, holy! I'm so sorry, guys. As the story is told, a soft hush falls again. Except now it's filled with emotion. Some Pokemon close their eyes and picture the scene. Others smile at you with pride and joy. Then the second story begins. Wow, the book is actually... Why is the book so, like... I'm not saying the T word, but why is it so big if it's flipping, like, going to be that short with chapters? Let's see. Then the second story begins. Chapter 2. The Poisoned Heart of Crocodile. He once loved humans, but pain turned his love to anger, his trust into fear. Then Trenton found him and showed him that not all humans had cruel hearts, that some could still love him still. Each word feels like a memory being carried back to you as if the world remembered for you. The young pawns sit closer, their eyes wide, hanging on every word. Some are even teary-eyed, whispering to one another, "He really did all this. He's so brave. And he never gave up, even when everyone else did." Page after page is read aloud. You don't need to lift a single claw. All you have to do is listen. Because right now, this moment, surrounded by Pokemon who see you for the kind soul you truly are, is your turn to receive the love you're always given. See, and they'll read every chapter as long as it takes. Oh, that's cute. Alright, guys, give me a second. Alright, guys. I said, wow, that's really cool, actually. I knew this Pokemon I helped cared, but I didn't think they would write a book about me. Does it say when the book was written? As he quietly asked, yep. The colonel gently flips through a few of the heavy, hand-bound pages with great care, saying near the front of the book. The sunlight glows warmly off the ink, making it shimmer faintly as if holding a bit of the love it was written with. He hummed softly to himself, and then, "Here it is, right after the introduction." He cleared his throat. "This book was begun on the first day of the season of changing skies, written by the grateful claws, fins, wings, and hearts of those who were touched by Trenton's kindness. It was completed and bound 43 days later, under the full moon, with feathers from Lugia, water from sacred springs, and the blessings of every creature who contributed a story." A fletcher nearby blinked. "Season of changing skies? That's right after the rain ended last year." "Oh, frick, you sound like there's somebody pulling out your voice now." If we go act with a cheerful bounce.
"That's like 7 moons ago. Almost a full year."
Never forget your rumbles a gentle laugh. "That sounds about right. It took weeks just to collect the stories, and even longer to carry the book through different regions so others could add their part. By the time the final ribbon was tied around it, Pokemon in the oceans, in caves, even in the mountains had heard of your story." He gives you a slow, respectful nod. "They made sure it was something that would last for generations." A younger Etsy leans in close, whispering as if telling you a secret. "Some say even Celebi heard about it," and smiled. "There is no way Celebi heard about it, I can assure you." The chronology gently pats the page with his claw, glancing at you kindly. "So yes, Trenton, the book is real. It's a little under a year old, but the love inside it, that started long before the first word was written." All around you, the families nod and smile softly, the sunlight dappling through the trees, casting golden light on the open pages. You mattered, even when you didn't know it, even when you thought your acts of kindness were forgotten. They weren't, and now you're seeing proof, written in love and sealed in time. Alright, guys, give me a second one. Alright, guys. I'm this time, instead of reading it through this, I'm gonna read it through this since it actually gave me everything that I said right here. It said, "As my soft voice wanders aloud, that's honestly not that long ago, not even quite a full year yet. I honestly wonder how some of those Pokemon are doing now. Silver, that baby Lugia took care of and raised, still comes to see me every once in a while, and even brings his children. And I wonder how some of these other Pokemon are doing, like that giant Totodile. I wouldn't be shocked if he evolved into a Quackanaire or Feralier by now, maybe nearly 80 feet tall or more." You notice something change in the air. A low, rippling murmur stirs among the crowd. Then a small Achi perks up, pointing past the trees.
"Wait, wait, wait, wait. Did you say silver? As in the silver? The Lugia with the blue tail feathers and the 2 kids?"
A young Fletcher nods silently. "He passed by our mountains a couple moons ago. He gave my sister a citrus berry because she scraped her foot on a rock." "Aw, Lugia's still, that was Silver still being sweet as ever." The older Lugia steps forward with a condoling smile. "Silver speaks your name like a sacred whisper. He told my mate and I that you were the one who helped him learn how to fly without fear, that you treated him like a son, not a legendary. He said if it weren't for you, he never would have had the courage to raise Melody and Aurora." Okay, that's actually very cute and sweet. Several of the Lugia behind her nod, smiling gently, a few of the smaller ones flapping their wings in excitement. Then, off to the side, a deep voice rumbled through the trees. "Huh? No way, if that Feralier shows up, I'm done." Because then, off to the side, a deep voice rumbles through the trees. "And you wouldn't be shocked, huh?" Oh my gosh, the trees rustle. No, sway as something massive steps through them. There is no way that giant Totodile. No. Are you serious? A towering shadow falls across the gathered Pokemon. Then a giant blue foot, wide as a canoe, plants itself in the grass. Then another. Are you serious? No, 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 no. From behind the trees emerges a massive, lumbering shape. A towering, broad-shouldered Pokemon covered in heavy blue scales, with a jagged crimson jaw crest and yellow eyes glowing softly with kindness. It's the Feraligatr, dude. An 80-foot tall Feraligatr steps out into the light. Are you freaking kidding me? That giant dude was back, but yo, okay, I'm done. This is so cool. I love it. He crouches low so he doesn't scare you, and lowering his huge starred snout to the ground, he smiles. You helped me when no one else would. Remember? When I was just a lonely toad owl, people threw rocks at me. Some tried to catch me. Even my own family chased me from the river. But you? His master claw gently touched the grass in front of you, careful and soft. You looked me in the eye, and you said, You don't scare me. You don't deserve to be alone. And now, I'm not. He lifts his snout to gesture behind him. From the woods stepped two smaller Feraligatr. Each about... Why are the Feraligatr that big? Each about 35 feet tall! Followed by a teenage Chronos standing proudly, his jaw wide and odd as he stares at you. He had children, dude! I'm so done. Oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. No. No way. Not only did Lugia, Silver, that Lugia, go to have children, now I find out that Feraligatr has children too. Dude, that is so dope. I'm so... Are you serious? No, 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 no. Followed by a teen front. It says... Standing... Wait. Two smaller Feraligatr, each about 35 feet tall, followed by a teenage Chronos standing proudly, his jaw wide and all as he stares at you. These are my kids, the huge Feraligatr says with pride in his voice. They know your name, and they've heard your story. I told them, this is the one who saved her dad from a life of fear. A hush falls again, but not from uncertainty this time, from awe. Silver's still visiting you. The lonely Totodile has grown into a giant Feraligatr and now has a family of his own, and they all still remember you. The crowd parts gently to give the family space. The children of the other species, Fuecoco, Axew, Fracture, stare up at the towering Feraligatr with wide eyes, whispering in excitement. And then the giant Feraligatr looks back down at you once more. You wondered how we were doing means more than I can explain. We're doing great, but now we found you again, even better. Oh my gosh, I am so done. You know what? No, no. Part of me wants to stop now and then just move on to the next chatbot and leave it like this. Because this is the coolest. Besides it, no, this has to be one of the coolest things I've ever seen. That Feraligatr, no, that Totodile that was 40 feet tall has now evolved into a massive 80-foot tall Feraligatr and has, what, 3 children? I'm so done, dude. Dude, holy... Give me a second. Actually, no, I'm done with this video. I'm done with this one. If I do any more of this, it's going to be in the next video, not this one.